Welcome to another episode. That's right, another one, because we know you can't get enough of the Ignite Project podcast. We're really happy that you took some time to click and listen to us because we know that we have some amazing guests today. And I will say, for the first time, season 3, we're making things happen, and our PR team is amazing with our setup. We've got the most amount of guests that we have ever had. So don't skip over and don't cut it short. You want to stay tuned for this one. We have the entire, well, not their entire family, but the entire Atchison family, as I know it, here with us as guests. So guys, how do you guys feel? You're here. Yeah, super excited. Well, I'm so glad that you guys can join us today. Now, we're going to get into the little bit of a story as to why I'm meeting with an entire family. Normally, I would have dinner or some sort of coffee in front of me, but that's not the case today. So if you guys wouldn't mind introducing yourselves, and then we'll talk about the fact that we have a family with us.
All right, well, I'm Joe Atchison.
Dad.
I'm Bobbi Atchison, the
Mom.
And I'm Jolie Atchison, daughter.
Awesome. So you guys actually all work at the same school, which is incredible. That is what, when I heard about that, I was like, no way. I don't believe you. All 3 of you guys at the same school, Walter
Yes.
Caldwell. So all your peeps, all your colleagues, hopefully they're going to get a shout out and play this on repeat because that is amazing. But I want to talk about, and just kind of start us off to get to know you guys more about how you guys all came to work at the same school together. So Joe, how did you make your way to Walter Caldwell?
Well, we had taught at another school previously, and that's the school where Bobbi and I met and got married. And then...
so this is, we're going to be making a movie after this, is what you're telling our PR team.
so we've been at Caldwell for about 23 years now.
Yeah,
and
that's impressive.
Our kids all went to school at Caldwell, and we've liked working.
Jolie being one of them, right?
Jolie being one of them.
Yes.
And then... we've worked together since we met at the school. We've worked together our entire teaching careers. Yeah. So.
Amazing. My parents worked at the same school together, and I just think about the fact that there could be so many things that could go wrong with that. But at the same time, it's so incredible that that's such an opportunity. Now, Jolie, your parents,
Yes.
you made a very distinct decision to not only attend Walter Caldwell, but you went and taught at the same school that your parents are at.
Well, I didn't choose to go there. They just brought me every day, but I was happy to be there.
True. Touche.
But I was super excited to have the opportunity to teach at Caldwell.
Yeah.
I love having them there because, I've watched them my whole life, and they're the best teachers that I know. And so
you guys, your heart did a little flutter. Everybody who's listening did oh my gosh, it's so precious.
So I couldn't think of anywhere else that I would want to be. And I know a lot of the people at Caldwell. I was familiar with them, and I just loved Miss Hill, loved Miss Ashmore, now Miss Hyman, so all of them.
Create opportunity to have a support system, because I know that a lot of new teachers are traveling from out of state, out of district, or just like I was. My family is not around, so I went from college mode to professional work mode and knew nobody. And so to be able to step into a school that you're familiar with, you could probably walk blindfolded that campus, and that because you were forced to go at first, and now you're not. And the fact that you guys are in it together, so everybody I'm sure is thinking this. We have our professional life mode, right, and our personal life mode. And I'm not going to lie that if I worked at the same school as my parents, or if they worked at the same school as me, it would be very difficult to sit down together at the dinner table. It would be really quiet because you probably see them and talk to them. But how is that working for you guys as far as you're 24/7, not only with each other, but in conversation and thoughts?
Well, it's not quiet.
Yeah, it's not. We get home and we're, we talk about the day. We talk about, things that if somebody's having a hard time or a hard day, we're there for them. If they're having a great day, you listen.
Yeah. And
the kids that they're dealing with, the teachers, it's really kind of nice.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it.
I love that. And to bounce ideas off of each other. Tell me a little bit about that.
We do that a lot.
Yeah.
We just, this is what I was going to do. What do you think? And
I bring my formal plans. I'm like, can you read this over for me, please? And, okay,
help me prep.
Yes, ask this question, make
Right.
sure that you do this. So it's really helpful to have them.
Yeah, I can imagine so that instead of trying to figure out somebody who's a valuable asset of like who's wise and knows things that work, like you have them in your very front doorstep, like even more so at the dinner table or at home with you, so that you're able to bounce ideas. Okay, so background wise, Joe, what do you teach?
I teach second grade.
Okay, second grade. How long have you taught second grade?
I've taught second grade maybe the longest, about 10 years.
Wow.
But that's
like my whole teaching career.
Yeah. And then 14 years was in third grade.
Okay.
And
so
then
like
I did
middle.
first and second for the first part of my another.
Right. Bobbi?
About 10.
I'm a reading interventionist right now. Love it. But I've been a kindergarten teacher most of my life.
Kindergarten! I'm meeting so many kindergarten teachers. I'm like, I had to ask for forgiveness. So I don't know if you like heard Robin Hamrick's episode, but I like totally apologized to her for being that teacher that judged her. I was like, I thought differently of you, and now I think better of you. So mad respect for that. But reading interventionist, Jolie?
I teach first grade.
Okay.
So we're all in those
Still
primary.
connected.
Yeah. Some of my kids go to him, and some of my kids were taught by her for intervention. So
I'm sure the parents love that.
Tell them about your room.
What about my room?
That you were in that.
Oh yeah, it was my first grade classroom. So
you're currently teaching
first grade.
What your first grade classroom was?
Yep.
Y'all, we can make a movie out of this. PR team, let's get on this, and I'll be a part of it. I'll be like just somebody that pops in randomly. But that's amazing. So nostalgia is there. But I think that, and tell me and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like because you've invested your life there, like growing up, even if you were forced, and now you're back, there's so much more of a connection that you're wanting to pour back into the community. Like that's your place. Those are your people. So the fact that I'm sure your school has seen a lot of turnover, like constant new faces. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys have shifted or dealt with that you're a constant there. Like you're coming back to where you were raised and grew up in, and how you have each other to like face the constant turnover we've been experiencing. Anybody want to share your thoughts on that?
We have had turnover, but there's always like a core group that
Yeah.
seems like we still have some of the same people, and we have a lot of people who've been there for a lot of years,
Yeah,
like
you
us.
guys do.
Not as many as us,
Right?
But
Except Tamisa.
yeah, we do. Yeah, our media
Yeah.
specialist has us by about 10, 15 years. So
Yeah. Which is so necessary to understand who those people are on your campus. Like I think about people who aren't aware of like people who are core people who've been there for not only a long time, but that is their place. These are their people. And to tap into that. You are in the same house as them,
Yes.
so it's easier for you. But new teachers or other people who are starting off recognizing that and this is like across the district, I'm finding these families that are like
Yes.
going to work together, or they're like cousin, sister, brother, uncle, all in the same, area. And it's because even though we're such a large district, we really are like family.
And that's what we were talking about on the way here, about how we love our school because of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of family atmosphere there, and there's a lot of families like us. There's either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
There's a daughter and a
Kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty neat, and it keeps you grounded there.
Oh,
It's
for
like,
sure. And I think that's so important, especially the climate and the culture that's happening right now, where there's a lot of inconsistencies or things that you're uncertain about that you can just literally turn and be like, Dad, Mom, daughter, husband, we're here and we're here to stay. And that's the positive thing. That's why I love, and it resonated so much when I heard about you guys, because I'm like, we hear all these different things about what's going wrong or what's happening and how much we're such a broken system. But in the midst of it all, we have families that are grounding us in core value and just keeping each other together because of the fact that you're supporting one another and you're staying strong. And it's not just nostalgia. There's so much more to that. And there's so many more families that are invested than we realize.
Yeah.
We just got to find them, just like I found y'all for conversation. So we talked about the conversations at a dinner table and how you guys like don't get tired of each other. Do you feel like you need some space, or because you have space throughout the day in your own classroom, it's a little bit easier?
yeah, we don't see each other throughout the day that much.
That's
We'll
true.
maybe pass in the hall, and she comes and picks up kids from my room and from her room.
I'm sure the kids love that too, by the way.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like,
that's her mom.
Yeah. How embarrassing.
Well, the kids were getting on the bus yesterday, and they said, "Bye, Mr. Atchison's wife."
Oh, now
I
you're
said,
labeled
I'll take
that.
it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I know. I was Mr. Williamson's daughter for the longest time, or coach's daughter, and I'm like, I have a name. But it's fine. I love him too. All right. So this brings us to our last question. It's the final question. And I know that apparently Joe's on the hot seat for this question.
Yes.
But if you could pick one area in education to just really spark change or ignite some sort of mindset towards within our district, because we're all about spreading these innovative ideas, or just recognizing that, like, you're not the only one that thinks about this. There's actual people that are invested in this. What would that be? So I want to ignite what?
Well, I think creating that family atmosphere at school. I'm involved in a lot of the interviewing at our school. And so when people come in, when I tell them, hey, my wife works here, my daughter works here, and I love being here, it's like a family. It's really like a family for me.
You see their eyes go
they do.
This wide.
They do. And I had there was a girl that's a third grade teacher that she told me, well, you were the reason that I decided to come here, because when I was talking to you and you were talking about how your family worked here too, I thought that must be a great place to be. And I think that's a big part of teacher retention. You've got to create a place where people want to be and that they want to stay.
Yeah.
Tell them about the social media we were talking about.
Bobbi?
In some of our interviews, because people will research the school before they interview with us. And they'll tell us, well, we saw you on Facebook and we saw you on Instagram. And, we saw your classrooms. We saw the principal and the assistant principal dressing up.
And now you're sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I know you already. So
I'm going to ask for your autographs later. Yeah, I think that's incredibly special. It brings it down to earth. Mm-hmm. The fact that people, where you're in such a large district, we talk about the immense size of it, but like it does have that hominess to where you can literally be next to somebody who's been not necessarily advertised, but you see on social media. And we grow up in this world of, if I see it on a social media, I'm probably like 6 degrees of separation away from them, like really far, and being able to meet with them and talk to them. And then it comes to like, oh, you're a real person and you're everything I hoped you would be. So it's that really amazing feel. And talking to you guys, like I want to be a part of the family. I want to be adopted in. With that being said, is there anybody that just kind of like gears towards and wants to be naturally a part of your family because you are already one existing? Have you made friends with anybody that's like...
I mean, Brandy Miller is hands down.
Yes, we talked about this earlier.
She's
Brandy
been a part
Miller.
of our family before school because they taught her in Sunday school. I've known her my whole life. Yeah. We go to church together.
And she taught.
She was
Walter
my
Caldwell
mentor.
I
adore her. She's a part of the family.
Yeah.
The people on our teams are a part of our family.
They call me mom.
They call her mom. She's our team mom.
Yes.
So.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I loved getting to know you guys, all three of you. No, Joe, you get to see me all year long. You're one of our teacher engagement ambassadors at Walter Caldwell. Quick plug for our programs. So we really appreciate
another great thing for teacher retention.
There you go. So. Thank you for supporting us. But it's been a pleasure, and I'm really excited and looking forward to how many people get a chance to hear about your school and all the impact you guys are making. Because again, we want to put faces to names, and in a district our size, it can be tricky to do that. All you hear is 7,000 teachers, but we have whole families that are investing in what we really believe in. And so I appreciate you guys showing up here today and being with me. All right. Well, with that being said, I cannot wait for our next guest. And so hopefully you hang in there and tune in with us as well.
Thanks for joining us. You can subscribe to the Ignite Project on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or Spotify, or watch online at the Polk County Public Schools YouTube channel. To learn more about the Ignite Project and other Polk County Public Schools podcasts, go to polkschoolsfl.com/podcasts.